Join me as I explore whether America's most treasured landmarks are really at risk of disappearing forever. From the iconic Statue of Liberty to the majestic Grand Canyon, America is home to some of the most breathtaking and historically significant landmarks in the world. But what if I told you that some of these treasured sites are vanishing before our very eyes? It's a sobering thought, and one that begs the question, are America's most treasured landmarks really at risk of disappearing forever? These landmarks aren't just random structures or tourist attractions, they're a part of America's cultural heritage, holding deep emotional and historical significance for the nation. So, what's driving their decline? Natural disasters like hurricanes and wildfires are certainly a major factor, with many sites situated in high-risk areas. Urban development is another culprit as cities and towns expand and encroach on these culturally sensitive areas. And then there's neglect, plain and simple, where landmarks are left to decay through lack of funding or interest. Furthermore, the loss of these landmarks has a profound impact on the communities that surround them. Many of these sites are economic lifelines, generating revenue and creating jobs for local residents. When they disappear, the livelihoods of those who depend on them are put at risk. The cultural significance of these landmarks also plays a critical role in shaping local identities and fostering a sense of community pride. Let's take the example of the iconic Route 66, which was once the epitome of American road trips and adventure. Today, large swaths of the Mother Road have been replaced by interstate highways, leaving behind a trail of abandoned towns and forgotten diners. It's a heartbreaking reminder of how even the most seemingly indestructible landmarks can fall victim to the forces of progress and neglect. Or consider the stunning Penn Station in New York City, which was once a masterpiece of Beaux Art architecture. Demolished in the 1960s, it was replaced by a bland, functional structure that pales in comparison to its predecessor. The loss of Penn Station is still mourned by many today, who remember the grandeur and beauty of the original structure. Then there's the devastating story of New Orleans' jazz landmark, the legendary Preservation Hall. Founded in 1961, it was a sacred space for jazz musicians and enthusiasts alike, hosting some of the greatest names in the genre. But in 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck, flooding the hall and putting its future in jeopardy. While it was rebuilt, the loss of its historic integrity was a bitter pill to swallow for many in the jazz community. The story of Preservation Hall is particularly poignant because it highlights the emotional toll of losing these landmarks. When we lose a site that holds such deep cultural significance, it's like losing a piece of ourselves, a part of our collective soul. It's a reminder that these landmarks aren't just structures or buildings, they're living, breathing entities that hold the memories and emotions of generations past. So what can be done to preserve these treasured landmarks? It's a complex issue, requiring a multifaceted approach that involves government agencies, local communities, and individual activists. But one thing is clear. We can't afford to be complacent. We must recognize the value of these landmarks and take concrete steps to protect them for future generations. So, what do you think? Are there any landmarks you believe should be saved or restored? Share your thoughts in the comments below.